All right. So then this is Google Cloud. This is the dashboard here. Right, so I've got a compute engine running, or at least got a compute engine. I've got something in my virtual machines here. I don't know if it's running. It's not running. So this was an old one that I had out there. Right? I'll go ahead and delete that one, and it should get rid of that. All right, so create an instance. So I'm on VMs, create an instance. So we're doing the same thing, just now on a Google Cloud platform. Instance 1, we're not going to label it. It's in central. General purpose. That's a babe. That's E2. So ease. So then ease, and there's a medium. I don't need a medium. We can do micro. That's 2 ZPUs. These are shared cores. High end, high memory, standard. Let's do a micro. So it's $6.52 or 0.009 per hour. Enable. So you can see the really similar kind of purpose. This one, if you wanted to actually, you can go, like we can get ridiculous too. Like, so if you wanted to, just to see what the pricing would be, why is it not? Oh, so let's do N2s. And if we go high-end CPUs, so we got 80 vCPUs and 80 gigs of memory. My cost is $2.29 an hour, or $1,675 a month to do. But I'm running 80 cores with 80 gigs of memory on this particular machine. Right? You can run epics. I wonder if how expensive the epics are. I'm going to go to their highest one, which is 22 and 24 CPUs and 224 gigabytes of memory.
That's crazy.
So $4,000. Like, so if you wanted a server that had 224 vCPUs and 224 gigabytes of memory, you could pay Google like $5.59 an hour, which costs you $4,000 a month to run this server. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with something a little bit smaller. Let's go back to the basic. Right? E2 micro sounds great to me. 2 CPUs, 1 gig of memory. I'm down to $6.52 a month. Here's another Debian Linux. So the same exact thing we did before. Compute engine default service account is fine. Default access. Full access to all cloud APIs. Default access is fine. Let's. I'm not going to worry about adding those tags to it. I'm fine. I'm going to just hit create. Right. So real similar to what I just did. Again, I'm not following instructions, right? So there's probably some things that we can add or change or modify. I just wanted you to kind of see how quick and easy these things are to get up and running. And it's really simple to get well out of hand if you are paying attention to the how much it costs idea. All right, so there's my instance. I got my internal IP, my external IP. I can connect with SSH. So you just click on SSH there to connect. I'm connecting. I don't know if this one of them requires you got to download and install keys. I don't think we have to do that, but we'll see. So it's transferring the keys now. So I'm actually doing this from the console, so it's going to do this stuff for me automatically. And boom, I'm logged in, right? So this is my, just like the other one a second ago. So sudo apt-get update. Okay, so there's all the packages, and then, man, these go really fast. Upgrade. Right, so then upgrading it, no bytes. So this one's completely ready to go. It's no updates needed. So that one's nice. Actually, there's a couple little key rings, but that's it. And then same thing, Python. It's not. This one doesn't have it on it. So this particular version doesn't have that. So then I could do sudo apt-get install Python 3. Oh, it's there. All right, so I just had to do Python 3 instead of Python. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm back into Python. I can actually run Python from here, which is pretty cool. We just tried that quit a minute ago. Did I not type that in right? I didn't. I did. Exit. Control C, Control X, Control D.
You need the brackets at the end because it's a function.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how it knows it's a function it's trying to run.
It's weird. All right. So yeah. So anyways, that's. I mean, how hard was that? Like I literally went out there, and 30 seconds later, we had a Debian Linux server running, and then I could. Right, I'm going to leave that one real quick. Create an instance here.
I love that you don't have to wait for it to install. That's obviously they're
Right?
using some pre-provisioned stuff, but that's kind of
Super nice.
interesting
So
to me.
I wonder now. Let's change the instead of Debian. Let's change out to Windows Server. See what kind of
Something
so,
other than data center, hopefully.
Yeah, like it's all data center.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I just do a core. So this is built. So they actually they're all the same builds, right? Looks like they're all the same builds. So data center core. Let's do that data center core. Let's select and see if it gives us any errors as far as the unit is concerned. Right. So nothing fancy.
Did it tell you the price? I didn't see the price.
I didn't check it. I went ahead and fired it off. I should have seen that's it's one of the that's one of the gotchas with virtual machines. Like, oh, let's fire it up, and like, oh crap, I chose
Then
the
you
wrong
get the
thing.
bill at the end of the month.
Right. So, right, and then I can RDP into this one. Actually, it shouldn't RDP. It should have actually. I'm gonna cancel that. I should SSH. Why is it not giving me SSH?
Right. If it's a core, RDP is not really going to help you.
Yeah, RDP won't help me. Interesting.
Maybe that one wasn't the core. I don't know. I thought you selected core.
I thought it did too. Let's go ahead and kill that one real quick because I went too fast on that one. I should not have done that. I think let me delete. I should want to delete the sentence. So let's do the video. Yep. That's great. And off it goes. I think one of the things I think students and past students have liked Google Cloud Platform better than the other ones. It seems to be simpler. From you can see how easy it was to get stuff fired up. While that's shutting down and deleting, let's go back over here and see what kind of damage I was going to cause myself. $24 a month, right? And that's running, and it actually bumped up to an E2 medium, right? Because I don't think you can run it on. Actually, this all reset to a default. It looks like.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? That's 24 a month. Who knows what the Windows Server was?
I'm wondering. Let's just go Windows. I don't want to do data core. Let's do. That's 2012. Oh, I was using a freaking way old version. That wasn't even. Let's just go here, data center. So if I select that.
Now, yeah, go check the price before.
$60 a month, right?
Oh,
so
not horrible.
8 cents an hour to run this, and it's running. This one's probably not really sufficient, but we can try it. Right? It's 2 virtual CPUs with 4 gigs of memory. It may run.
I mean, for data center, that's not horrible price. I mean, you wouldn't actually run a data center on those numbers, but
right. So then instance 3 is firing up now. Right. I'm going to go ahead and shut down instance 1 so that I'm not paying for that.
Smart.
Okay, because if you're not using it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to go set Windows password here. So that's the username. Or it's just going to randomly give me one. What's going on here? Let's see what happens. So that one actually fired up and is ready to go. So I'm curious to see how what this is going to do.
Yeah, if you're gonna have to do like a bunch of updates or what.
So instance 2 in the background, you saw instance 2 dropped off. And then as soon as this gets done, trying to figure out what it's doing. Window password cannot be set. Try again. You just created the instance. Allow 10 minutes for it to be ready. Okay, so I wonder, RDP, it wants the RDP file. So if we download the file, and then if I just fire up that file, it should go to, it should use remote connection and it should log in. I'm gonna see, I'm trying to see if it's gonna connect or if I screwed it up by trying to set that password. Because I'm in my admin console, so it didn't like something. All right, so remote desktop didn't want to function there. Let me get rid of this one here. I don't need this instance. All right, and if I just download the file, I did download the file. Connect there. Yeah, I may have screwed something up when I tried to reset the password. So what I was hoping for, and what I think what you'll see if we try to do this, you should be able to, yeah, so it may not be enabled either. So that may be the problem as well. If I go to the instance itself, right, so right here, set Windows password. That's the, it tells me wait 10 minutes there. So then that's my, trying to see if there's any other details here that would help me figure out. Actually, let me go back one.
Should be a way to remote desktop into it from here, shouldn't there, without having to use the third party?
Yeah, right here, well, you get RDP, connect using RDP client, you download that file, right? There's the file again, second time, and then it should fire up remote desktop, which is.
Yeah, but that's for using the third party one. It says download the RDP file if you will be using a third party client.
Oh, there we go. I don't know what my password is. I wonder if
And there should be a way, you know how like on ours we can see ours, you know, using that little monitor window. There should be something like that here on Google, shouldn't there?
I'm wondering if it's using my Google password.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
It's not. So I don't know what password it is using. So I'm gonna have to do the whole reset your password thing, because I don't know what the password is.
That sucks.
But all right, so that, I mean, if it fired up properly and I didn't screw stuff up because I was in a hurry, I should have been able to
screenshot. If you go up there a bit, screenshot. Oh.
Yeah, so you gotta be logged in. Yeah, so I think I screwed it up when I did tried to change the password, not knowing that I didn't need to.
Oh well.
But one of the things you should be able to see, it was pretty easy to get it up and running. I mean, at least get the VM running if you don't, do silly things and break stuff. I should have been able to, and it says I can go back in and I can reset the password in a couple minutes. I wonder. Let's see if this lets me do anything. I'm gonna scoot this. Oh, I can't scoot it off the page. I want to see what else is out there, but I don't. Use this command to reset the password. run in Cloud Shell. So this one fires up a Cloud Shell and runs the command. I'm going to move it to the side just in case it posts the password on the screen. So it doesn't look like it does.
Question for you.
Yep.
Noah was asking, I wonder what the charges are for bandwidth usage on your VM. I assume they're included in the monthly charge or the hourly charge. Is that right?
So, and I think we'll get into the costs and stuff later on. Depends on which service and what type of things you're doing. Sometimes there's bandwidth. You get charged for bandwidth. I don't think you get charged for bandwidth that where you put stuff onto the server, but if you take stuff off the server, then you get charged. If you, especially with storage, it's normally there's some storage for the amount of storage you're using, and then when you pull stuff off of storage, those are the times, and each one of them is slightly different, right? So when we get to those sections in the book, we'll cover what they're doing today, and what this chapter is about is just getting compute engines up and running. Holy cow, that password is crazy hard. No wonder I didn't get it right.
One of those random 20 character ones.
Yeah, and it's all over the place.
I mean, they're secure, you know, even you couldn't get it.
So so I'm going to try to do the whole connect with the instance again. And then I'm going to paste that password in. And bam. Oh, I don't need to do that. I can just skip over that and I can just say yes.
Yeah, that's a habit for me too when I'm connecting to my servers.
Even with me screwing around and messing stuff up, right? I use that gcloud command, and this is I actually have a data center server running in the cloud that's going to cost me. There's a server, right? This is my server. Well, that's not my server. That's my desktop. Oh, this is my server. It looks a lot like my desktop. Right, because if I move this out of the way, so this is server manager or Windows, you know, so this is server manager. So literally, you know, even me screwing around, it only took me 10 minutes to get a data center server up and running, right? And I think we saw what is going to be $60 a month to run a data center server, which is, you know, holy cow, that's a lot better than paying $4,300 for the license, which is what data center costs if you're going to buy it for a server. So I don't know. I just, you know, pointing these things out. I didn't follow any of the rules as far as the assignments are concerned. I just wanted to show you, right, how relatively easy this, you know, setting these servers up and getting these servers up and running is online. So we did. I did an Azure Debian setup. I did and I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Actually, I'm going to disconnect.
Does it need updates or?
It probably does.
Updated?
That one probably does, but I didn't. Because it costs money, I'm going to drop it real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
I just wanted to show you, right? So I fired up Debian on Azure. I fired up Debian on Google. I fired up a Windows data center server on Google, right? All in 45 minutes, because we're right at the 45. We're right at 5:15 mark now, right? And it wasn't overly hard. And I did it without instructions. So there may be a piece or two that we could have done something a little bit better or organized it better. What's nice is that we're going to, through the chapters, it's going to show us, like, here's what a virtual machine is. Here's how the network works. Here's how those go together. Here's how you set up users. Here's how you do this. Right? So all of the labs are all going to be just simply what we just did. You know, you're going to have a set of instructions, walk through the labs. Oh, so I've wiped out, so I don't have any VMs at this point. So I've wiped out all my VMs, which is good. And you can bounce from platform to platform, and you can see how the different platforms work, how they operate. You'll find one that you like the best, right? And then that'll become, your favorite, but you'll at least understand what else is going on. So here's me deleting all the stuff I did. So I don't know. I just, real quick demo. I think what we'll do is on the next class, hopefully Cengage will be up and running. And if it is, then we'll go do the Azure or the AWS one together as a lab. If you want to do the Azure one and the Google one, and then we'll do the AWS together, that'd be great. If not, no big deal. I do have the paperwork from Logan. So if we want to follow the actual instructions for the Azure account, we can do that. I'm hoping Cengage should be fixed by then. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, right, experiment, go read, get through the material, get through the start working on the coursework, get some VMs up and running, test some things out, play around with them. I'm hoping that what you saw today, you see like this is pretty cool. Like I can literally as a IT professional, I can fire up a server in a matter of minutes now. I don't have to go buy hardware, and I just pay for what I'm using. So I think we were looking at the range. We were in the $5 to $6 range, all the way up to $60 for something reasonable. I mean, that's a Windows server up and running for $60 a month. Imagine being a startup and you don't want to have to go buy a $5,000 server, right? $60 a month. That's what $720 a year. I'm sure there's other costs. You're going to get other costs for data transfer or data storage and some other things going on. However, you're not paying $5,000 out of pocket up front, right? So it'll take several years before you get to the point where your costs are even as far as on-premise versus in the cloud. And then at that point, you've got, oh, look, I logged in now. Awesome. I am logged in now.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, so we got back up and running. So this is going to be, this is the, going into the compute engine create, right? They want you to use micro. So one VP, I did the micro, that's good. What did they want us to use? They had Ubuntu 14.04, which is fine. I used Debian, just a different version of Linux. And this one here, we skipped over these other pieces, which we kind of did the same, and you hit create. Oh, look, we did the lab. We did exactly that. We did that lab except for using Ubuntu. I used Debian instead.